good. It's round 3 of Beast Mode boxing. Yeah, man, feeling good. Just gonna get straight into the conversation.
Get into the shits.
Straight in. Haye Bellew's coming. 5th of May, big fight, UK, heavyweight boxing. Chucks, what? I'm gonna come in straight.
It's always me. Why is it always me?
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
We just
Clockwise.
Why is it?
Clockwise. Moving.
It's almost
off Chucks.
Yeah.
set pace and all that. I'm all right. Before I was thinking Bellew again. Yeah, he done the job once. Haye to me, I just feel like the injuries. He's older. He's not the same fighter. Like he's gonna come in thinking he can do that explosive stuff again. Then he's gonna bust the other ankle or pop the other shoulder.
It's
you know, it's
the whole shit.
The mind thinks he can do this, but the body's saying no, and it's been shown twice now.
Yeah.
He's 38 now.
Yeah.
Twice. Last fight, Klitschko. I just think he's gonna 100% revert back to type. The moment he starts getting frustrated, he's gonna start swanging again, and then something's gonna go. That's what I'm seeing. However, I watched the fight again today, and he was doing some good bits. If he does stay focused and goes low to the body, keeps his head out of the way, and then catches Bellew, we know he's got a bang. We know. If he stays disciplined, then he could get it. But I just feel he's just the age, the injuries, they've just caught up to him, and he's not going to be able to maintain.
Yeah.
And Bellew's going to do his thing.
Lawrence, what?
Do we have to do? No.
This is what they forced upon us now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Bellew at first as well, but I think the gloves are off thing actually changed my mind a little bit.
I didn't finish watching.
Right.
So
Psychological.
It's that thing where Bellew seems to be confident again, which is fine. But Haye seems much more focused, not angry, or maybe a bit angry, but like angry with intent. Not like, I know I'm just gonna swing one punch, knock him out, which is what he did in the first fight. And on review of the first fight, that was the worst version of Haye I've ever seen by a country mile. Like,
Trash.
he did nothing right, or barely anything right.
And we were watching it, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah. But do we
seconds
think
in.
that Haye, this is Haye going forward, or was it, you know what I mean?
It's a
Because he
psychological
came
thing
in.
as well. I think his approach was, I want to knock this guy out, make him look dumb, and then I'll get myself a big fight at heavyweight to close off my career.
Yeah.
His focus was knocking the hell out of Bellew, and he thought it'd be easy work. So he got easily frustrated, and he just kept swinging. He didn't change much. But even that version of Haye was competitive with Bellew.
Yeah, because we were just talking about this in the WhatsApp group about the cards, because I was shocked to see that it was 4-1, wasn't it, after the first fight? That's what they had.
But I had 3-2 Bellew. Yeah, that's absolutely wild, isn't it?
They gave him round 2 to 6.
It's mad.
And like that's quite controversial because it's quite clear Bellew
That's
was
ridiculous.
definitely.
He was coming forward more, but he was getting caught.
Yeah,
he was missing.
Yeah,
100%.
I had Bellew ahead 3-2, something like that. So I just think as long as Haye isn't a complete like amateurish 15-year-old as he describes himself, then he should be able to find Bellew and hurt him. I'm not sure if he'll be able to knock him out, but he'll hurt him enough times in the fight to get a decision. That's what I'm thinking now.
Interesting. Carl, what you thinking, man? What's your thoughts?
Go wait into the weigh-in.
Yeah, I can usually tell a lot from the weigh-in when I look at them at the weigh-in.
Yeah.
But in saying that, Haye always comes in very good shape.
Yeah.
So I mean, even Bellew looks in great shape now. You can see his face; he looks a lot slimmer. You can see he's not complacent. He's not thinking, I'll beat this guy once. I'll beat him again. He's hungry. He wants to put it to bed. He looks like he's come to fight, and he's not leaving any stone unturned. I mean, this fight is a very interesting fight because, I mean, obviously what happened in the first fight, I know it sounds wrong. I don't want to take anything away from Bellew, but he was very fortunate with the circumstances of the first fight. I think Haye was carrying an injury going into the fight. David Haye 6 to 8 years ago, I don't want to be no disrespect to Tony Bellew, but David Haye would make easy work of Tony Bellew.
Tony Bellew said that himself.
Yeah, I think, that's not even fair play to the guy. He got the job done. You can only beat who's in front of you. But the David Haye that was in front of him wasn't the Haye of old, and it was a Haye carrying an injury, out of shape, hadn't been in a real fight for a good few years. It was a good time to fight David Haye, and I don't know. I mean, this fight is really dependent on what David Haye shows up, because I mean.
But remember though, Carl, he was mocking it. He was on speedboats doing tan guy and
I think he might have picked up the injury after that point.
I think
yoga. He really didn't rate Tony Bellew. And I think that's the key. He was he overlooked him. He said it himself. I think he even thought he was that arrogant. He thought I could come in there with an injury, and that's why he was swinging like that. I know I'm injured. I'll just swing once I catch him. It'll be good night, and I can get out of there. It doesn't matter that I'm injured. I'm good enough to beat him, and he's not that good. So he's gone in there now, arrogant, trying to swing, and it's like, oh, actually, this isn't going to work. And he panicked, and you could see Bellew was moving well. Bellew was a lot better than he thought Bellew was. He was slipping well, he was defensive, he was countering, he was quicker than Haye. And David Haye got found out on that night, and now he knows he can't come into the fight unless he's not 100%. Otherwise, he's going to get found out again. Yeah. So it really is dependent. If David Haye's fit, I mean, because he had that Achilles injury, and that's a serious injury.
Yeah.
I mean, has he fully recovered from that? Is he ready to fight at the top level again after that? Yeah. That's the concern of mine. I don't know if he's rushed himself back just because he wants to, he's so desperate for revenge and to put it right. Yeah. The money's there. Maybe he's thinking, he does. Maybe it's about the money a bit too. Maybe he's thinking, you know what? If I don't do it now, it's never going to happen. I need to revenge this loss. Maybe they said to him, look, Bellew's stock's high right now. If he doesn't fight you, he's going for a Tyson Fury or a Joseph Parker. He's gone on to another big fight. You can take the rematch now, but we can't guarantee it will be there later down the line. So Haye's maybe thinking, oh, wow, I need to do this now. I'll rush back. I'll be fine. I'll get the Achilles. So I don't know. I hope he's fit and it's a competitive fight. Yeah. I don't want to see him come in again injured. And I want to see both guys ready to go.
It's happening. I'm telling you. It's going to happen.
Nah. What you thinking, man?
Well, I'm just gonna be repeating, really and truly, just a little spice or something. I'm gonna go for Haye. I'm gonna go for Haye because he learned from the last time, and Bellew took what 5 rounds.
Yeah, 5 more rounds from the injury
with a one-legged man.
You can't hurt him.
You can't hurt him. How can it take 5 rounds to? Any other heavyweight is finishing Haye. Matter of fact, the corner's thrown in the towel. As soon as his legs got the corner's thrown in the towel, it's over.
But that's the thing, that he's not a heavyweight for real.
Haye, Bellew,
Bellew's not.
Bellew.
You see it. So it's the pop's not there like that to just finish it. So I hear you.
Part of the arrogance in Haye was that this guy can't hurt me no matter what. And he was kind of right.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of right.
I heard Bellew hurt his hand. Has anyone else heard that?
No, I did hear him say that actually. Yeah, I don't know the severity of the injury
during the fight. Okay. So he was less effective going on.
Okay.
Either way, I never.
He should have finished it.
Yeah, the only stumble you saw was when Haye had issues with his ankle, and there was loads of clean shots landed. Yeah, he was never stunned, never shook up.
Nah.
So,
yeah, you should be beating a man with one leg.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna go with Bellew myself because I think
I like that. That's
do you know what I mean? I think Haye is far past his best, and that
what other way does he know how to fight?
Yeah, exactly. He's gotten a new trainer. He's gone for a lot of things. He's gotten a new trainer. He's come down in weight. He's gonna approach it a little bit different. But I think, I just think Bellew, do you know what I mean? Psychologically, you know what I mean?
It's hard to do new things, man.
Yeah.
What I will say is the momentum is definitely with Bellew. The confidence. He looks a lot more confident. He looks a lot more relaxed. Bellew. He looks like he's sure of himself. The momentum is with him. He's carried a lot of confidence. And David Haye maybe isn't. Maybe he's doubting himself. Because he thought he was saying, you're the worst world champion ever. I'm going to knock you out. You're going to get carried out in a stretcher. And he got beat. So he must be doubting himself. And he must be looking in the mirror like, what went wrong? How did I end up in this? How did this guy beat me? And maybe that's spurring him on. Maybe that's driving David Haye to, I need to get this done.
That's genuinely a good thing because you can think too much of yourself. There's a right amount of confidence to have. And he was up here. And maybe he should be down here with a bit more respect for his opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
do need to respect.
We all know that basically if Haye comes in anything close to what he was before, it's over. it's not
Sure.
gonna last.
No.
Yeah.
He-
Like,
And
he
you
can't
know what
be,
he
though.
said today? I was
Can't
watching
be.
He's
on
not
Sky-
coming.
on Sky Sports
If he does.
today. He
He's
was saying,
old, man.
he needs support in an epic performance. He said even if he doesn't win in spectacular style against Bellew or knockout, that he won't. Do you know what I mean?
He will retire.
And he
Yeah,
should.
retire.
Yeah.
He should.
Because
Yeah, as he should.
yeah, because he knows
should.
if he gets him with AJ or
It's over.
Wilder or someone, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Where would Bellew land in the division, in the heavyweight division?
the current scope.
Not even
I
top
don't
10.
think he'll be in the top
Yeah.
10. He might not be
Yeah.
in the top 15. So if Haye ever wants to box again, he does need to look pretty impressive.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
Bellew's not stupid as well. He himself knows he's not a heavyweight. I mean, again, no disrespect to him, but I think the way he's been talking, his plans after this fight are to go back down to cruiserweight.
Yeah.
He's talking
Makes
about
sense.
calling in his shot at Usyk or the winner of the
Yeah.
boxing super
Makes a lot of
series.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Realistically, he can't. He hasn't got the power.
No,
I was thinking, what's my Parker?
Mm.
Even Parker's
But
a
even
big chap.
that's
man.
what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
saying, like
He's
I was
quick
thinking
as well.
who could he?
245, he's muscled.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
good.
Wilder's
footwork.
what? 240.
Let's
Wilder's
not
light,
even
but
talk
gosh.
about that
I
one.
mean, I think even Bellew said himself, 'cause he was talking about
quickly
Wilder,
forgot
wasn't
about
he?
it.
But I think he said when he stood next to him, he was just honest. He put his hands up and said,
That's
he's a lot
not
bigger than me.
happening.
I can't
Yeah.
fight that guy. He's like
Bellew,
6'7".
Bellew.
Bellew, he
Giant.
said, yeah.
Yeah.
When he saw him face to face, he was like, whoa, actually, that's not going to happen.
Wilder put his arm
Yeah.
around him and he's like,
yeah, you know, this is love.
Pick him up.
friends,
He'll burn
Let's
him.
start.
Start. Not the ring though. Yeah.
So it's a bit of a split house in terms of, you know what I mean? I think you got
I'm going with Bellew.
Bellew.
Old man Haye ain't doing
Haye,
nada.
Haye decision.
Right.
Again, how? Bellew how though?
Bellew can't knock him out, obviously. If you go for Bellew,
this is
you
what's
say
gonna happen.
decision.
Hayes gonna get injured again,
Yeah.
and then try to do heroic. I did it with
injured
one
man.
arm, one leg, and then
So
the
repeat.
towel. Yeah, repeat, man. That's what I'm seeing. I don't see any
Haye by
KO
injury.
happening. Yeah.
I say Haye by injury.
Haye by decision in an entertaining fight. He might even drop Bellew or whatever, but Bellew's got heart too, so they'll have a.
Yeah.
But Haye, it'll be an
12
old
rounds.
Haye.
Yeah.
Two old guys going at it for 12 rounds.
I've got to say
I
this
like that
prediction with a disclaimer because
I haven't seen the weigh-in.
He hasn't seen the weigh-in yet.
Can't secret powers, you know.
For the viewers, that's
I just wanna
100%
say-
accuracy on the way.
Check his
After
Twitter
the weigh-in,
on
yeah.
Friday after the weigh-in.
I make my predictions after the weigh-in because there's a lot of telltale signs for me in the weigh-ins. But I mean, I don't-
His left eyebrow. Twitched a bit funny.
it's like I don't know. It's like usually when I predict a fight, it's two guys. They're ready. They're fresh. They're good. But I just don't know what Haye's going to show up, and that's what makes it hard for me to predict. All the signs point to Bellew winning again, and I should really go for Bellew, but for some reason I'm going to go for David Haye. The reason I'm going to go for David Haye, he is the better boxer naturally, and maybe I'm completely wrong. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Bellew won, because I should really go for Bellew. The confidence is with him, the momentum's with him. He's won the first fight. I just think Haye is the better boxer. I think if Haye comes in,
2018.
sorry,
2018. These two men. Who's the better boxer right now? 28.
Yeah.
Deep it.
what has Bellew done over there besides the
Well,
Haye
yeah.
fight? He's been inactive. No,
Deep
no,
it. No,
I don't
no,
mean that,
deep
but
it. Go
he's
He's
been.
also 36, ain't he?
He's in his mid
He's
30s.
yeah, he's
The Haye fight was over a year ago.
Bellew.
Bellew.
I think he's
He's
a bit
a
younger.
34,
He's about
33, 34, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Deep.
I'm sure he is.
I was watching it again.
That was May
before I came.
2017.
Defeat Bellew.
Oh no, he's a good boxer. Don't get me wrong.
Defensively Bellew.
But I just think Haye's
but
been
it
at
was
the high
against
level. I
the
think
version of
Haye was taking over the
bad.
fight before the injury, and I think
And
if
that is true because
Haye
he won
was the
two
momentum was
rounds
taking over.
before because Bellew won the first three. innit?
Yeah.
So perhaps
I think if Haye can hang on for 12 rounds, he'll win a close fought decision. It won't be easy, and I think there'll be moments late in the fight where he's probably getting tired. He's probably going to take a bit of a battering, but I think he'll see it through and get a 12-round decision. But again, this is very hard to predict. I'm just, it really depends what David Haye shows up.
35.
35 he is.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm
Hayes
going to
what?
go for Haye.
Hayes 39.
38.
38.
So they're not that far away.
They're
No.
both past their prime.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah,
past their
yeah,
prime. But
absolutely.
I'll say David Haye, but not with,
Any confidence.
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
yeah. I'm going to go with Haye though. That'll be my
Based on his
prediction.
fitness,
Nah.
Yeah, it really
fitness.
depends on what Haye shows up, but I'm going to go with Haye.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a decision.
I'm gonna go for the good of boxing. I'm gonna go for Haye, dramatic knockout. Like,
Yeah.
I like Bellew though. I do like Bellew.
Cool.
But if Haye knocks out, like, just for the good of boxing, if Haye knocks out Bellew in like 3 rounds or something like that, then all of a sudden there's a new entity
in the heavyweight.
in the heavyweight division.
Do you know what? I was so
Like, it
excited like
becomes
3
more
years ago
interesting.
because I thought the return of Haye would mean, you know, he gets the business done against the other
Back
guys. But
amongst
now, I mean, I'm not gonna take him seriously. I don't want to see him get
regardless.
squared up.
Nah. Realistically though, I think it will be a close decision. Haye, like that's realistically what I think.
Right.
But for the good of boxing, I'm gonna say knockout.
Hey. Cool.
Yeah.
Round 3.
Round
Devastating.
3, because
Yeah,
Bellew
everyone
offers
always
nothing to
counts
the heavyweight
Bellew
division.
out.
That's why Bellew
Yeah.
offers nothing. He just eliminates a contender.
But then if he
I'm
wins
gonna
and goes
go-
back down to the cruiserweight division, that sort of spices up that division. You've got the
Yeah.
winner of the Super
That's
Series,
true.
him coming off a big win
Big win,
against
yeah,
Haye.
that's true.
So that gives that division some sort of gloss and
Yeah.
Yeah,
excitement.
but I'd rather the heavyweight get.
That's where it's
Everyone
at, you
wants
know.
it.
Yeah,
Everyone wants that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
it's true.
So what are you saying, Jay?
Boy, I'm gonna go with Bellew, and I'm gonna go with unanimous decision to Bellew. I think it will be a war, and yeah, I see him just controlling the majority of the fight. I think Haye's gonna go for it. I think he's gonna have success. I think he might hurt Bellew, but I think, you know, I can see Bellew.
come out,
So what you
so
saying,
just
7-5?
something like that.
Wow, you're making man get
close.
specific on the predictions.
You know what I'm saying? Something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what
But I could, you know, it's one of those that could go any way. I know, like, between us, we've been talking about all the different permutations with this fight, like how, you know, it could be a knockout, it should be a knockout, it should be, you know what I mean? There's so many possibilities.
It can't end. Surely it cannot end with a concussive knockout by Bellew on Haye. Surely it can't end with Haye just laid out.
Stranger
You know
things
what?
have happened.
Bellew should consider some action at the heavyweight division if he does that.
That's true.
Yeah, stranger
And they should
things
test
have
him.
happened,
They should
man. No, he could do it by accumulation, man.
I know, but I'm just saying if he like smokes him
Nah,
with one
yeah,
punch,
no,
like
no,
that's
no.
like.
Boy,
If that happens, wow.
Leg.
Wow.
You couldn't
for
do it with
real.
one-legged Haye, did that?
Because he was still worried, innit? Thinking about
He was.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
of
catching
course.
a counter
Yeah,
or
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
But
And Haye was
yeah.
swinging like that with one leg.
He would.
It was a funny fight, man.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
What else? So, in terms of,
Coming couple of weeks.
yeah, there's more. There's a lot of fights coming up for May.
Tasty fight.
Yeah,
Let's do
Lomachenko, Linares.
Quick
That's
fire
the one
rounds.
for me,
I
man.
love
Yeah.
That is
fight.
the fight
Technically,
this month of May. That is the fight.
You going first,
Yeah.
Carl?
I can go first.
Yeah.
I can go, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Take the pressure off.
Switch it up.
I can
Switch it up.
This.
sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that for me is a wicked fight. I mean, Jorge Linares is top quality for me. I think he's
Yeah.
a very good boxer.
I heard that Silas isn't training him.
He's not training,
anymore,
man.
is
I'm
he?
not sure who he's training with. I saw it like
Yeah.
footage of him training. I don't know who with.
Because
So
he
I don't
left,
know.
he prioritised Haye, that's why.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Two big
Is
fights
it
at the same
Salah?
time. Ismail Salas.
It's
Yeah.
Ismail Salas,
Ishmael,
yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, he's
Prioritised
a very
Haye.
renowned trainer, but yeah, I'm not sure who. I don't know, that might affect Linares.
Yeah.
How long has him and Salas been together? Is it a long
Years.
time?
I saw, and I heard he's had more than 15, 20 world champions.
Yeah, he's
In
trained a lot of the
his time.
Cubans, hasn't he? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's
No, he's
well
top,
renowned.
top guy.
Yeah, he's top career. But I mean, Linares, I rate him. I think he's a very good boxer. And
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
Lomachenko going up in weight to fight that very good boxer. I don't know, but I'm a bit of a Lomachenko fanboy, man. I mean, I love this guy, man. Just like when you watch him, it's just like your jaw drops. The things he does to people, it's just incredible. And I don't know, it's a tough one. It's a really great fight. I mean, there's so many questions over this fight. Is Linares too big for Lomachenko? Is he bitten off more than he can chew? Is Lomachenko going to be able to do the things he does to other fighters when he makes them quit, showboats on them and makes them look ordinary and doesn't let them get a look in? Or will it? Because, you know, when he lost to Salido, it was Salido's size and sort of brute force, that roughhouse tactics that sort of threw Lomachenko out of his rhythm. Linares is a bigger guy. Is he going to use those same tactics? Is that going to affect Lomachenko? Or has he learnt from that? And is he going to be able to adapt and just, you know, it's so many questions. It's an interesting matchup. Two skilled fighters, the top of their game, going at it. And it's very rare you get fights like that. I'm really excited about it. And I'm so many questions. And it's questions I can't wait to see them get answered.
Yeah.
Great fight.
Interesting.
Great fight.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
For me, one of my favourite fights last year was Luke Campbell Linares. I love Linares as well.
Yeah.
the southpaw stance did give him a bit of trouble at times. So I'm favouring Lomachenko because he is that dazzling. But it's a tough fight for him. And Linares' job is to make it physical and use his hand speed and be really awkward and not be a linear fighter, come straight back and forth. Sometimes Linares does use his feet to do that.
This is why the answer is easy for me. But yeah, go on, I'll let you finish.
Linares does do a lot of forward and back movement. As long as he comes out of that a little bit, moves his head a bit more than sometimes he does, doesn't go straight backwards, straight up, which he sometimes does, he can make it very difficult for Lomachenko to turn him and do the dazzling stuff, feint here, go low, if he's making it rough. But for me, I think quality of Lomachenko will come through, and he'll overcome the difficulties of the reach and the hand speed and the size by just working him out and keeping his feet moving around him. Linares sometimes can stop in one point or go straight back, and Lomachenko would love that.
He would love to capitalise on that.
Yeah, it's food for Lomachenko. Food. I love Linares as well. Great boxer. Sick technique. But hand speed, Gary Russell had hand speed. Made him look like a chump.
That's a fact.
Within 10 fights.
Friggin' going backwards. That's the issue. You know what I mean? Only one straight backwards and backwards and forwards. He gets hit by everybody. Linares takes shots, even though he's given them. So
didn't Kevin Mitchell drop him?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Loma's just gonna start putting angles on. It's light work.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that. I hate to say that it's gonna be light work, but
one thing I would say about Linares as well, he has a tendency of going like in the later rounds against Luke Campbell. Again, who was before that Crawler. He let them back into the fight because they. I think he fought Crawler twice as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I think that might be an issue because Lomachenko's
comes on strong.
Yeah,
He's got an engine. He always comes on strong.
That's one thing. But then in Linares' defense, he's coming up. It's his first fight at 140.
135.
It's 135. 135. So it should be. It's a great spectacle, isn't it? It's even more so than Haye Bellew, I think, in some regards. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna enjoy that fight a lot more than I do the Haye Bellew.
Absolutely.
Technically,
it's if Linares can give Loma something to think about.
Yeah,
that's the only thing, because Gary Russell Jr. very fast hand speed, but his footwork is not the best, and maybe Linares' footwork isn't good enough either.
I don't think there's not many people that are gonna have a better feet than Loma.
No, not even to compete with him on the footwork. But if like Gary Russell Jr., if you see his other fights, his feet are not the best in general. Like, so if Linares has an issue with going back and forth,
it's alright, man.
Be able to capitalise. Yeah.
But his hand speed, I don't know.
The fight is one with the feet, man.
Yeah,
he is longer.
Feet first, man.
This debate of the feet.
Yeah, we'll have that one day. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned.
Where's knee?
Where's knee at?
When knee comes on.
Carl, you was gonna say.
Yeah, Loma's used to beating up on maybe smaller guys. Obviously, Rigondeaux. And I think the guy he fought before came up in weight as well.
Mario.
Right.
No, Sosa was. I think. Mariaga was the one who came up.
Mariaga came up. So
Sosa
interesting seeing that.
Did
Sosa come up too?
Sosa may to double check.
I've not got Wi-Fi right now.
So that's two smaller guys. He's going up in weight. So it'll be interesting to see him against a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Seen that weight class, you got like Robert Easter Jr., long reach, and Mikey Garcia's fought at 140. So these guys, they have the physicality. Is he going to stick around there, or he's talking about going back down to fight Gervonta Davis? I don't know. Just to see what his plan is. But I mean, everyone's saying. I remember last year it was like Rigondeaux and Lomachenko was the big fight that everyone was excited for. For me, this fight is more exciting than that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this will be more competitive. Like just because of the weight, I didn't really give Rigondeaux much of a chance because he came up 2 full weight classes, and I think Lomachenko is better than him. That was my opinion. And with the weight, I just thought no. But this one, I'm thinking, wow, this
That
is actually
might hurt my spirit, man.
Yeah.
That hurt me so
He
much.
bruised his hand, man. He bruised
He's not
his
been
hand.
seen since as well, has he? He
Nah,
hasn't
yeah.
tweeted or anything.
Good,
He's just disappeared.
Yeah, you hurt my
Hey,
feelings,
Dave,
man.
yeah.
I was
They're
like
talking
an
about
upset
doing-
girlfriend. I was upset, bro. You let me down, G.
Don't go out like that, please.
It's a shame. They're talking about doing this bantamweight World Super Series next year potentially.
Oh, okay.
And apparently Rigondeaux might try and get in the mix for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, if he can, that'll be a good way back in for him. So he'll probably win it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He's good enough to make weight and win that. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
But he's also old as well.
He's
Yeah,
old,
that's
yeah.
definitely-
That's the
He's
thing.
probably 43 by now.
Yeah.
May. So, well, just in terms of predictions for that, we'll use everyone.
Loams.
Loma.
Loma.
He's not gonna make him quit though. Linares has got all the heart
Yes.
in the world, so I think it's a
He
12
is.
round.
He's
Wide
lost a
decision.
few fights.
He has,
as
he
well.
has.
Lost the one
It's
on
been-
cuts, didn't he? What's that
Yeah.
guy?
Was it DeMarco?
DeMarco.
That was
yeah.
a fight and a half.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that
that was a
fight.
good
That was
fight.
on a Broner undercard maybe,
Yeah,
or
yeah, I believe it
Mayweather
was.
undercard.
I
One
think
of
it,
the-
I think it might
Mayweather
get
Cotto,
stopped,
you know.
man.
You reckon he might?
Linares' face has been touched
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
His
true.
brows are touched
True,
up.
true.
it's just-
And Loma's going to mark him up.
accurate.
Yeah.
It could be another
Six-
situation like that.
Yeah.
I don't. Well,
No
he's not quitting,
Lomachenko.
though. Linares
he's
is
gonna
not
keep
quitting
going.
ever.
But Loma hasn't got power. That's one
I
thing.
think
He's
got
that good. He doesn't
decent
even need power, though.
He doesn't
He's
need
that
it.
good. He
He hasn't
doesn't.
got
He's
it.
that
He's
skilled.
good
He doesn't need it. He will just the volume, the sheer volume,
volume.
and the frustration that
Yeah.
the mental exhaustion
I
he will
I think
exert
the
on his
other
opponent.
thing is as well, he seems to throw good, solid shots to the body, like accurate, like shots that make people want to like
Yeah.
wince and
Yeah.
curl
Quit.
over.
Look, these guys are
But
quitting and, like,
the headshots, I've never seen him throw much concussive shots.
Yeah.
Apart from that, what's his name? Rocky.
Rigondeaux.
No. Rocky
Martinez. Rocky Martinez was
I
it?
think
Yeah.
he completely flattened.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I've not really seen him hurt guys to the head too
That
often.
guy, was
But
that
I
the
see
fight
him
where
hurt
he did like
people to the body.
he used free hooks?
Waters,
He
Nicholas
was
Waters,
Yeah.
hooking him around and turn.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
that
word.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like
he's-
he could
he
leave, then he
faints, so
faints and
skilled.
leaves the hand there, and it's something to watch, man. Like, it's
It's
so-
beautiful.
Do you know what? Maybe I'm saying I don't see a stoppage because I don't want there to be, and I love Linares.
That's
but
what it
he's
is.
also got a big heart, and I think he won't quit. That's
Yeah.
the thing I'm saying.
I don't see Linares quitting either.
No. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I think
But
Lomachenko.
Loma's
he's a,
winning.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Lomachenko. He's an artist,
I
man.
can't-
This
yeah,
guy,
I
when he
can't
goes to
go
work,
against
That's the
he's
I'd
that
like
skilled.
to see Linares do something, but
I would,
I
yeah.
think Loma.
And he's got 4 defeats, but that was a long time ago.
Long
right?
time, about 6 years. The last one.
Yeah.
I was having a look at it.
So he's on the streak.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah, he's on
Loma's
a very
just
good streak,
ridiculous,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Making top boys just
Quit.
look so amateur. It's
Yeah,
mad.
it's true. It's
Linares is
scary.
a
What's
guy.
Yeah,
tw-
man.
12 pro fights, is it,
Yeah.
for Lomachenko?
Yeah.
12
Don't
pro
call
fights.
the Axeman
This-
quit on
if
his
he
stool.
If he wins this,
Crazy.
if Lomachenko wins this, he's a freeweight world champion.
Yeah. Within
12
six
fights.
fights.
Yeah.
Imagine,
That
that's
is-
it's incredible.
crazy.
An accomplishment.
It's unprecedented. Like
Yeah.
he's breaking new boundaries every fight, and he's just he could make serious history in
And
his
you know,
career.
what, I watch these vids.
Yeah.
Watch these vids like all these, you know, who I can't remember names, but something like they say he does the same tricks he does, but you're not stopping it.
That's the thing.
That's
Yeah,
the
you know what he's doing. But you
Floyd
can't stop
done the
it.
same thing all the time.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
stop it.
No. You can't.
Who else we got? There's Jack Stevenson, which is another
Badou
like.
Jack.
Mate,
That's a great
these are
fight.
some really interesting
I mean,
fights.
is it?
It's a great fight for
I
me.
think
Is
it
it?
is.
Is it a great
Who
fight?
you going with?
These
Badou
man-
Jack whoops his. No.
That's
First,
what I'm saying.
firstly,
That's what
I'd
I'm
like to
saying.
say
Lo-
that I'm
Lois was ready for this one. You know?
I'm sick and tired of.
I'm sick and
Stevenson
tired of
being
that. So part of me actually just wants to see him get beaten up,
Yeah.
like really badly, because you just ruined the
Padus.
division for so.
Big
How many
Padus.
years he had that belt?
Oh my
Must be
God.
5 years. 3, 4, 5 years. with
What's
that
he done
belt.
with it?
Possibly, yeah. It's nearer 5, I think. He's had it since
Yeah.
about 2012, 2013.
Chad
Yeah,
Dawson.
he
I
said-
think it's about
stopped
6,
Chad
5,
Dawson,
6 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
club now.
Crazy.
When Chad
Yeah.
Dawson was around, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and he's
I-
hardly fought since then. Like in that time, or he hasn't fought any serious contenders.
Fonfara's the best.
But
Yeah.
here's
fought
the other
And
him
he
thing.
twice.
dropped him. Fonfara dropped
On
him.
Friday, in the
Fonfara
first
dropped
fight, he
him.
dropped him, yeah.
That Williams guy, I can't remember.
Williams.
Thomas Williams, I
Mad
think his name.
Williams, I think he's.
Yeah, he hurt him.
Yeah.
I mean, Stevenson
2013.
has that power.
2013.
5
Wow.
years.
But he just loves
But-
his variations of duck, bro. Hoisin,
Wow,
crispy.
yeah, peaking.
What kind of duck? Nah.
So I just think Badou Jack's solid enough, skillful enough to avoid that left hand, and I want him to beat him up. Just break him down, come up with a high guard, body shots, head shots, everything, accumulated damage, finish him in 6. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Might take 8
Will
or 9.
happen, yeah.
How do we think Jack will fare in that division though? Because there's a lot of serious guys.
Some
the
killers there.
Kovalevs,
It's a very exciting division.
Yeah, I'm like.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm
I
concerned.
didn't hear
I'll
what
see
anybody
what-
else's
Yeah,
predictions were,
but I'm
though.
just thinking,
well,
boy,
I'm-
Jack, if he wins, I'm concerned for him. That's it.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
you have to put it out.
Yeah.
Don't win then, Jack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Nah, Jack.
I think,
yeah, go on. You
That
go.
I'm excited about that fight because even though Adonis has been doing his ducking,
Mhm.
like he's a dangerous guy, and
He
the
has
shame
power,
is that he has. Maybe he's old now as well, but the shame is that he hasn't utilized his potential because when he was knocking out Chad Dawson, and whoever else was put in front of him, it was like Chad Dawson's a skillful guy, and he
At that
flattened him,
time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and his chin is suspect. But if he gets up and he lands that straight left,
Yeah.
it's like it's
Yeah,
over.
He's got
Yeah,
to
Got a
stay
very
high.
It's
heavy
over.
hand.
So
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I think Jack will win though because Jack is a quality fighter, and at light heavyweight, I think he's more competitive than he was even at super middle. I think.
Whilst he's not killing himself to make it.
Yeah, I think he's a solid
think
guy.
so? That's interesting. I don't know.
I
I've
think
seen
if he
obviously.
beats Stevenson, then
Yeah.
I see him as a serious contender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Obviously Jack is a well-rounded fighter, but I just
don't
think
really rate him, man.
George Groves ran him close. De Gale ran him close, and
Yeah.
I'm just thinking,
I don't really rate him.
yeah, how's he gonna have for a cope against Bivol and
Like that.
Batabayev, Kovalev? Those guys.
I think they wiped the floor with him. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there.
Straight.
I
I'll
don't
just
really
say
rate
how it
Badou.
is,
Like
like,
he's
yeah, I don't-
okay.
Yeah,
I think
he's
so.
a
Okay, solid guy. Yeah.
all round,
Yeah.
but
He's good.
There's
well-rounded
nothing
fighter,
like
but,
special
yeah.
about.
yeah,
That's almost what I like about him. I like the
he's
fundamental
yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he doesn't move his head as much as I'd like to see him, but he blocks a lot and he takes the shots and comes back with counters. I think he's a quality boxer, but yeah, maybe he would. That style works better when you're the bigger man.
Yeah.
And against the 168ers, it probably did because the girl couldn't hurt him, so that was part of the reason why he was able to keep coming on. Apart from the flash knockdown, he was able to just keep putting that pressure on. Against the bigger dons who hit a lot harder, that tactic might work.
That's what
so
I'm
well.
saying.
He's still high.
That's what I'm saying.
But I still think he has the fundamentals to be very dangerous in that division, though. If he edits a few things and maybe adds a few more wrinkles.
Stevenson's last fight was what, 6 years ago? What was it? How long?
No,
Last
no,
fight,
no,
last year.
Last year.
I think it's
So what was
Fonfara,
his
wasn't
last
it?
fight? What?
Fonfara too.
Was that last one?
jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was last summer.
Last summer. bro.
And knocked him
what-
out.
what
him
was
out in
Badou's-
two
Badou's
rounds.
last fight?
Dude,
I
was it
think
cleverly?
I don't really
Gale.
pay
Was it
attention
Gale?
to
No,
these.
Cleverly when he won that into.
Yeah, I think it was cleverly.
Oh,
And
he
when
beat
was
the
that?
shit out of Clevery.
That was on
Yeah,
the
that-
Mayweather
five rounds.
Conor undercard.
Yeah.
Mayweather
That was
Conor
a light,
McGregor
that was a
undercard.
light heavy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
That
Light
was-
heavy, yeah.
Was that last
It was
year?
for WBA
Yeah.
regular. That was last year. It was on the
Last
McGregor undercard.
Was it May?
Mayweather McGregor.
yeah.
So when
No,
was
that
that?
would've been
September,
August then.
August,
September.
August,
Would've been August.
August.
And
Yeah.
how
Bank
did it
holiday.
go? How did it go? Because I,
He
bro,
made him
Yeah,
quit,
he
didn't
stopped-
he?
yeah,
Stopped him.
stopped
Yeah.
it. Stop
Yeah,
Cleverly.
5
stopped him.
rounds.
Yeah.
It was
But
a
that's
great
Cleverly.
performance
It was
as well.
Cleverly.
Yeah, man. Come on, that's
Cleverly, I think Cleverly.
Yeah,
He
Bellew-
retired after that, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
true.
Bellew beat him. Man.
Yeah, Belly's beat him. You know, Kovalev knocked him out brutally.
Yeah.
He was talking about retiring after that, so I don't think I think his best days are
Okay.
way behind him.
I'm gonna say Stevenson then.
Yeah.
Yeah, to win. I'm gonna say.
I think that
Yeah.
Stevenson's a good litmus test though to see where Jack really is at
Most definitely.
this
Yeah.
division because
Yes.
Stevenson-
has to win.
has been the harder puncher I'd say than Kovalev.
Yeah, maybe
One
single
punch,
single
one
punch
punch knockout.
power. Yeah, like it's like a little bit like AJ Wilder kind of comparison.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
where he's just got that,
One punch
that
knockout.
left hand. Yeah, because
So
I remember when he
Then
knocked out
we
Dawson.
could say the same thing
that's
about
horrific.
Stevenson as I've said about Wilder, which is usually apart from Dawson,
Yeah.
like the quality opponents aren't there.
Nah,
No,
it's not.
but
It's not.
Well, Fonfara's ranked, though,
Fonfara was
right?
decent.
Fonfara is decent.
But
He's alright, man.
even
But
then,
come on, he's
He
not
lost to Joe
no
Smith,
Andre
Jack,
Ward.
yeah.
He's no Sergey Kovalev. He's no Bivol. He's no one anywhere.
He
on
fought
that
Kovalev,
level.
right, from far.
No.
Who did he
no,
fight? What's that?
Joe Smith.
Joe Smith and
He fought Chad
Cleverly
Dawson.
and
Is it
yeah,
Dawson's fight?
yeah, he stopped Chad Dawson.
he
And he
stopped Chad
beat,
Dawson.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Chavez Jr.
Yeah, he beat him at catchweight. Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah.
Chavez,
Have you seen the? Hey, he's come up like heavyweight. Have you seen him?
Where?
From far.
Bulked up.
Chavez.
Chavez Jr. He was
Yeah.
always struggling to make 160.
Massive.
Yeah,
He's gone
Better for him.
massive.
Didn't Cleverly and Fonfara have a good fight?
Yeah, from
Yeah, they had a
Yes.
really
That was a
big,
wicked
good,
fight.
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
tear up. Yeah.
Yeah, that went
But
12.
that does
I think
show
that
you
went
the
12.
it went 12, but it was close and it was just millions
back
of
and forth,
punches,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
That shows you the level of Fonfara though. It means he's not a world beat. He's not like at the
No.
top of the division. He's quality top 10, good fighter, but not like an amazing
elite.
boxer.
Yeah,
The way
he has
Joe's-
Cloud on his record.
Voice
Voice
Cloud
Cloud,
from
Voice
Farah.
Yeah.
Cloud.
Okay.
Stevenson.
Steven. Oh yeah.
That Kovalev has beaten.
And of
Tavares
course,
Cloud,
yeah.
hasn't he, as
But
well?
didn't B Hop beat him as well?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
He's also got Bellew, of course.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, Stevenson knocked out Bellew.
Bellew.
Yeah, he did.
He's
So-
got Bellew on his
What's
record.
everyone saying on that?
He bangs. He does bang.
He does
He
bang.
Stevenson,
does. Badou Jack.
Badou Jack,
TKO 9.
TKO, not round 9. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Adonis Stevenson. I think Stevenson will win.
You guys are going mad.
What,
Yeah.
what do you reckon? Knockout?
I'm going with
Possibly,
the lefty, man.
Yeah, I think quite possibly a knockout. I think a knockout. Yeah.
Knockout.
Southpaw,
Quite possibly, yeah.
Southpaw love.
Yeah.
I'm going Badou Jack.
Badou Jack.
Yeah,
okay.
decision.
I'm gonna go with Jack. I think Badou Jack will win. Yeah, I'm going with Badou Jack. Stoppage. Yeah. That's
Stevenson's
bold.
like
I'm
40
gonna go
years
for
old
that.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah, no,
gonna
switch
go
it.
with
I'll go with you, Jay. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Stoppage.
Why are you saying going with... I said stop.
Say stop it.
Yeah,
Alright,
TKO
yeah,
9.
yeah, for you, so, yeah.
See that, man. Now, there's also, Ali Smith has been postponed. That's
Yeah,
postponed.
yeah.
Saddam Ali versus.
They've got a replacement, but I can't remember the guy's name.
Some Mexican kid, 28 and 0, 24 knockouts. I've
But
never seen him
he's
fight
fought
before.
Mexicans. He's fought in Mexico only.
There you go.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
so,
saying
yeah,
like
I don't
Triple
know
G
about the guy.
shit. Like we got Triple G on
Oh,
the
of course,
on the
yeah,
fifth
Triple
as
G's
well.
fighting,
Like, that's
yeah.
like an interesting.
Yeah,
fight.
That's like a one-round
Obviously-
knockout.
That's an
Oh, it's not
interesting
interesting
fight.
fight. Sorry.
What's
Like,
an interest?
I'm forgetting Canelo. Yeah, Canelo's not in it.
Do you know, I would say about this, the
Yeah.
Veins, I can't say his surname because I'll mash it up.
Yeah.
He's always been competitive with the top guys. He's always
Yeah,
been
he's
good.
fought a
He's
few.
fought Charlo. He's fought.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
he
and
ran him
Drake as
close.
well.
He
Yeah, split decision.
ran Andre close, and people thought he won. Who else has he been in with? Someone
Quite a
else.
few names,
Oh,
yeah.
Lara. He fought Lara twice,
Lara, yeah.
and he lost. Lara beat him convincingly the second time, in like a wide-ish decision. But like he's a decent fighter. It's just Golovkin, is it?
Yeah. 2 years.
This
out.
is all at
He's
one-
moving
Yeah,
up
2
2
years
years
Do we
out.
have to do
He's
predictions for
moving
this?
up. I don't think.
And all his works at 154 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 154 fighter.
It's a
So.
mismatch.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
mismatch.
complete mismatch.
I mean,
We know
it's
gonna
not
be
Golovkin's
over.
fault, is it? You know,
It's not.
Obviously,
But
short notice. Who
Yeah.
else you get? You don't want to take a risky fight. Why should you have to take a risky fight and put your belts on the line? But again, it's who do you get? You know, at short notice.
What do we
Spike
make of
wasn't
that whole
interesting.
situation? Because it looks like Canelo will be fighting again in September for a Triple G.
So have you guys heard? He submitted a hair sample and
Yeah,
it came back
I heard that.
negative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you saw my reaction to that. Like,
Whose hair was it?
you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm not buying that.
Prince Harry's hair.
I'm
They
not
took
buying
face.
that.
He failed twice.
They took
Yeah.
some
So he
Helly
failed
ginger
twice,
man.
and then
Yeah,
he
2 urine samples failed.
and then he
Then
says
the
hair.
follicles.
There's
Well,
nothing-
I
there's
don't know.
nothing
Well,
there.
it depends when
If
the
hair
test.
samples are so reliable, why don't
Yeah.
the sanction?
that
Why
first.
don't the testing bodies use hair samples
in
regularly?
the
Then
and in the first.
Well, they're not
instance.
reliable.
you see it in the first
Yeah.
instance. Why
They're
don't?
giving him
There's a reason for that.
extra room, man.
Yeah, it's
The
like, come
thing
on.
is, for
Cash
me,
cow.
obviously
Yeah.
the two urine samples are close together and the hair samples a bit later. And
Yeah.
I don't really understand the science.
Yeah.
But I
Shit,
think
man.
they should take all the samples they can get all at
all
once.
at one time, and then there's clarity there. It's true.
And then run those tests again. If it's about when it excretes out the body, whatever, then okay, leave it a month, test the urine again, test the blood again, test the hair again, and then you can establish a bit better. But I think it's weird to say, oh, we took urine on this day, and a few weeks later we're gonna take some hair and some blood on another time. It's like, I don't know if this joins up.
I mean, it almost seems to me like they're doing it just sort of to justify the 6-month ban. I mean, it's quite a lenient sentence, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Well, they didn't even find the brother.
You know what I mean? No financial fine.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like they've done it. Okay, well, here you go. Look, he's passed the hair sample, so a 6-month ban's okay.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
And
to
they
make them
backdated
not look
it.
as bad.
Here's
You
the
know
kicker
what I
for me.
Yeah.
You fail a test, you should be on that probation thing where they test you like day
Absolutely.
and night,
Yeah.
365, until they're certain that you're clean. Like,
Yes.
and that's not been mentioned. I haven't seen anything about that, and they need to. That's what I think was where the emphasis should
I
be.
really do feel De La Hoya. He annoyed someone.
Yeah, they gave him.
And they just gave him a little,
slap on
yo,
the
Yeah.
checklist.
chill out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Chill out.
mess up your money,
You can
man.
take you can take your cash cow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
who else? Because who else has he got? Matisse. He's got Matisse. Linares is Golden Boy as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Saying that,
Boy is
Matisse
a few.
Pacquiao. When's that? Is that June?
That's coming up as well.
Yeah,
I
so
think
I'll
it might be June.
June. Yeah, that'll be an
That's
interesting
for a
fight.
world title, isn't it? That
WBA
the
regular title, yeah.
Yeah, the regular title.
It's
We
mad
still
how
count
things have
those.
shifted, isn't
Yeah.
it? Golden Boy used to have a
Yeah, they
staple.
would have
They would have
had
won
a
it.
go-to team at one time. So it's a bit crazy. So we're not going to do predictions on Triple G.
No.
No.
That's
no,
not
no,
happening.
no,
I'm
no.
afraid.
That's the point. What is the
Unless
point?
the universe tilts.
You know what I'm saying?
Like something.
We don't.
God.
Triple G
Let's round up
knocked
on,
out, and hey,
Let's round up. Yeah, April. You know, obviously Broner fought in Brooklyn. Was that last weekend?
no weekend before last.
weekends.
Yeah,
Lazy
Yeah.
AB.
you know what I mean?
So
AB,
lazy.
new trainer and everything, but still the same result. Like
Similar
in terms
vibe.
of
Yeah.
I just loved everything before it. The fight was just,
the
it was
build
just
up. Yeah,
normal AB.
yeah.
There were
He's-
moments, but
Mm.
There was just
But that's how it
There were
always
just
is.
moments.
There were moments.
Yeah.
Talk about AB. There
Yeah.
were moments. But he's
Yes.
so lazy in the beginning of the fights. No jab whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
And then
frustrating.
it-
'cause
How's
he's
he got to
skilled.
that level
He's
with?
skilled.
I just don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's like you say, lazy, because he shouldn't even be fighting at 140. I don't think. I think he should still be down in the lower weights, but he was probably too lazy to make weight. That's why he's gone up.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
it wasn't
it
even
was
at
catch
140.
weight,
It wasn't.
it was
It was
140.
Oh yeah,
it
it's
was
catch weight,
140.
wasn't it? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a catch weight. He's fighting. Can't even make the official weight.
Like,
Yeah.
new
He's
trainer,
in
I
a-
got a new trainer.
Yeah, it's
blah,
still
blah,
the
blah.
same. Yeah, it's
It's
the
a
same
bad
stuff.
place
man.
maybe because at the same time he can't go up to 147.
No way.
nah.
You know, and he can't go down to 140. So
This is the thing,
just-
though.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
he doesn't see it as a bad place because he's still getting his M's.
Yeah.
He's still a draw that everybody wants to see get beat up because he acts like such a fool. So he knows his place.
he does.
Yeah.
He knows his place.
Well
He's
aware of his market.
AB is always gonna get fights, and people are always gonna watch to try to see him get knocked out.
Yeah.
The other thing is,
Simple.
though, I will. If it was a dry fight, I'd say I think it was entertaining enough where you wouldn't mind watching him
And that's
again.
the word right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Entertaining.
yeah.
The
That's-
build up was entertaining.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fight itself had its swings. It was close. There was a draw in the end, and there was
Do we think
shots
that was
slipped off.
yeah?
I mean, if it's a fair result.
Rightful draw. Or,
Rightful draw.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say so.
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
close.
when you said I'd lean slightly towards AB if I had to pick one,
Yes.
and I looked at the punch stats, I was like, how has Jay come up with this conclusion?
That's the thing.
But
yeah.
like,
It's
on
They
the
were
review of the
they
fight-
were missing Vargas's body shots.
Oh, you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they weren't counting?
They weren't
job
counting.
counting,
Yeah, because he got a lot of left hooks to the body. You know, it was just messy. It just looked horrible.
yeah.
I
But
think,
it's yeah. I guess it's on like again as you said statistically, like Vargas obviously. I didn't even look at the numbers, but it just looked like a close fight.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The way
Basically,
it was
Broner's
competitive.
shots were cleaner, more
Yeah.
impactful. Vargas was doing all the work.
Yeah.
So it's like, tough to call. But
Yeah,
And then Broner's saying he wants the rematch in Cincinnati. Why?
with Vargas.
Why? Why should it be in his hometown?
Yeah.
yeah, like he didn't fight in Vargas's.
Yeah, it wasn't, yeah. He drained the man down to catch weight. It was a neutral ground. Now the rematch should be in.
Playing that draw A side.
Yeah,
He's talking trash. Man.
yeah, talking rubbish.
Talking for
Yeah,
talking's sake, but it works for him.
Charlo.
Yeah.
What did we think of Charlo?
He did what he was supposed to do, didn't he?
Went in there.
That guy is so
Did what we
beastly.
expected
Yeah,
him to
man.
do.
Yeah.
They're talking about him and Jacobs. It looks like that's going to be the.
Yeah, Jacobs called him out. He called out Triple G. Charlo called out Triple G. Jacobs called him out. So I think
that'd be a good fight.
I seen the group because I weren't really engaging, but you were saying he didn't look too great, Jacobs.
No, he did.
I haven't seen the
he's
fight.
not
Yeah,
though.
he's a Sulecki, I think his name is.
Yeah,
He ran him really.
His
Fights
name
mainly
is
at-
Sulecki.
Polish guy.
so
Fights
Sulecki.
mainly at 154.
Sulecki.
Sulecki, yeah.
Apologies
Well, he's
to our
actually
Polish
bigger
viewers.
than Jacobs, actually.
Well, he came up from
but he was
154.
from 154.
But he's also fought at 168 in the past, I've heard. So
Yeah.
like
Right.
he's he floats around.
Yeah.
I think the main issue for Jacobs, being that he's actually quite tall for a middleweight, is that he doesn't often come up against guys who are
As tall
taller
as him. Yeah.
and have reach on him.
Yeah.
And people were saying at the weigh-in that Sulecki looked
Bigger
big.
than him.
bigger,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sam was saying that. Sam was saying
So-
that.
Herman was saying that, yeah.
Oh yeah, he reminded me of Groves. He looked a bit like Groves.
The guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, physically. Yeah, man.
It was,
Yeah,
a
it
good
was,
fight.
it was interesting.
It was a very good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
And-
personally, I know a lot of people had it wider, but I think that last round won him the fight. I think he, the knockdown is what like gave it a
Separated
gap.
the two.
Yeah, gave it a couple of
Oh,
points.
watch
The
it.
thing is, it was such a strange fight because first rounds they're feeling each other out. In middle rounds, Jacob started doing some Archie Moore.
Yeah, he started.
Defense,
The
counters.
the defense like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
trying
looking
to
really good.
I
He
think
does some really interesting things.
Yeah,
man.
he's
Some of the
Jacobs is a
combinations.
tiny boxer. man.
Oh,
And then
man.
like it was looking proper slick. And
Yeah.
then 7, 8, 9, it's like
He faded,
Sulecki
yeah.
started to come on, and Jacobs got a bit lazy. I think.
Yeah.
I felt he got lazy.
I think he
because
he
realised
needed
that
a
Sulecki
second
couldn't
win.
hurt him.
Yeah,
he
his
got a
second
little
win came late.
Yeah,
that was it. It came late, like last
For me,
round 10.
early rounds, Sulecki was doing surprisingly well because of his range. Then Jacob worked out that range issue, and then maybe the energy swang back towards Sulecki as he sort of just put it on him a bit more.
Yeah, because he
And
thought
then the last couple of rounds, Jacobs came back into it and got the
Jacobs when he
knockdown.
raised that level to do the Archie Moore kind
Yeah,
of.
he thought Sulecki can't hang.
That's it, but he could.
Yeah, he could hang.
Okay.
But then the last round, that was a shot, and how Sulecki
Yeah,
got up.
beautiful.
Oh my God,
Man.
this
I
guy's
thought it was
chin
over.
and his
Power.
heart.
That's what
Okay, I
love
gotta
that
watch
about
this
Jacobs.
ASAP.
Yeah, man.
Dangerous
Yeah?
at all times.
Yeah. My man got dropped so clean. He was like,
Yeah.
and he was walking into the shot and he crumbled and then he got up and started throwing jabs like it
nothing.
never
It was
happened.
mad.
Frightening.
It was
Frightening.
mad.
What?
And it's the last round. So
And it's the
like,
last
wow.
round.
Yeah,
That
Did his
is-
reputation no harm, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Warrior
I
shit.
want to see him
Yeah,
again.
definitely.
I want to
I'd
see
like
him
to
again.
see
fight
him.
against
I
someone
think
else.
he's awkward at least for a lot of
Yeah.
fights. He's tidy technically. He throws
Yeah.
a good solid long jab.
Yeah.
Gave Jacobs problems.
Yeah,
I think,
Throws
definitely.
good combos as well.
Okay.
Jacobs versus Charlo would be interesting because
Ah,
Jacobs
that's a
has
great
got
fight.
serious power.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Jacobs
Both of
needs
them
that
do.
now, I think,
Charlo
as well.
as well.
Since Triple G, so he's had fights and stuff, but it's not been big fights. I mean,
No,
it's that
he
Luis
needs that
Arias,
feature.
this
Yeah.
fight now. He needs a
And-
good dance partner to thrust
Yeah.
him back into
Yeah.
the.
Way, that's
That's
such a
the
good
limelight.
fight.
I heard
man.
Adam Smith saying in the commentary whether is he not motivated for those fights or
Yeah.
was the Triple G fight like the pinnacle because it's harder to to get yourself if you just fought Triple G you're fighting Arias and
Yeah.
I think
unknown
there's something.
Sulecki.
I think
There
there's-
is something. To
Yeah, I
it.
think there's
Yeah.
something to that.
I also
more than-
think he went back to Brooklyn, fighting in
Yeah.
front of his hometown crowd. You remember when Kovalev went to Russia and
Yeah.
put on that
Yeah,
shit
Chilembo.
show? Sometimes it
Chilembo.
just gets into
Yeah.
your
Too
head.
much.
You just wanna, I wanna
Yeah.
knock him
Impress.
out. I wanna
Yeah.
impress, and then you find out I'm actually fighting a decent guy, and none of these things are working. All these imagination, all these things I had in my imagination. So he looked a bit frustrated at times.
Yeah,
I think
it
a
is.
Charlo
He's
fight will
mature
fire
now,
him
innit?
up. I think
Yeah.
a Charlo,
Yeah,
that's what he
that
needs.
would be such a
They've got a
great
bit of a
build-up.
rivalry. They don't really
Yeah.
like, they've had exchanged words in the
I
past.
came at the right time at the
Yeah,
right
I came at
time.
the right
Charlo's
Yeah,
behaviour
that was
changed,
classic.
didn't really-
His whole demeanour
Classic.
changed.
I love that.
Love that.
The way
shit.
Charlo
Oh.
was talking before that, because that's what he was actually doing an interview
Hype
about.
him.
Yeah.
Hype.
He was
Yeah.
sauced.
Type
Yeah,
it.
they're just like,
Sorry.
Sauced up.
no, I never said that.
And then he comes and then it was just
Yeah.
and silence.
Yeah.
You were just talking the things.
Yeah.
Jacobs a bad man. You know.
Bad guy. No, I love.
Dangerous.
Danny Jacobs. Yeah.
That's a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Came on up with Miami shirts.
I was
And
too
then
epic,
he
you know.
Wakanda, he came in on that Wakanda tip.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't even. I've
yeah.
only seen
That was
pictures,
dope.
Oh,
but
man.
I ain't seen the video. I
brought
won't
the
try
kid-
to watch it.
What the dancers out and
I saw his
everything.
girl and his son in the Agbada with the hats.
In the back,
ringside.
I didn't see that. I saw the dancers though. He came with the dancers, everything. Even
big.
What's his
What
name?
song did he come out to?
Miller. What was like African drums, and then they danced to the ring.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it.
Yeah, he went for
big.
And then Jermall.
Jarrell
Miller. He came in as Black Panther. Like,
yeah.
I didn't see his fight. So what do you guys think of that, Jarrell Miller's fight?
I need to watch it back.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't watch all of it.
I didn't watch all of it either, and I was trying to watch it just now because my
Homework.
But I heard he done well because the Happers. Am I pronouncing it right? The Halpers. Tough as man. That guy.
He's tough. Here's the
really
thing.
Tough.
Jarrell Miller. So I've watched maybe 9 rounds now. Didn't get to finish it, but Jarrell Miller. I like how he boxes. It's nice to watch in a way because he does a lot of things that a lot of modern boxers don't do. The way he uses his arms, the way he controls, he throws a lot of punches for a big guy, etc. But he doesn't have enough power to trouble anyone in the top of the division.
Yeah, agreed.
The Halpers has been in with Wilder, and he showed that he's durable. Yeah. So not getting a knockout isn't really embarrassing or anything. Yeah. But there's just too many shots that he was able to walk through and come straight back with a counter. Like not like that's a clean uppercut and you expect the other guy to at least stop doing what they're doing. Yeah. But like he's taking the uppercut and coming back with his own shot. That shows to me that he doesn't have this like crazy power. The Alpers can take a punch. He went 11 with Wilder, but Jarrell should at least be stunning him when he's catching him that clean.
And then that's AJ's next guy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. What you say, like, is that like now it's looking more likely because it looks like Wilder is confirmed.
That's a done deal,
by the look of
basically.
It.
Yeah.
So
all this nonsense
like
wasting our time.
I mean,
So I mean, what's going on with Povetkin? Because he is mandatory, isn't he?
He's pushing hard for that fight as well.
Yeah, of course he is. He's gonna want that.
Yeah.
What about Deontay?
Yeah, I don't think Wilder AJ isn't happening now. Like I think that's
no.
Wait, but did anyone see what Vasyl was saying?
That he'd already arranged the fight. That he'd already agreed to fight. Yeah.
So it's all and Hearn. As far as Hearn
was it last episode? Who was saying when are they fighting?
Yeah.
Did I not say next year?
I said March as well. I'm saying March next year because. And again, I think it's more AJ than it is Wilder, or AJ's side than it is Wilder's side. Yeah. If either of them were to go now, it would be Wilder because AJ could lose and still make massive amounts of money. AJ's risk level, reward level is a lot different to Wilder's. So. But I do think both of the offers were complete bullshit. Like that 50 million. Cancelling meetings and that. And 12.5 flat fee also. Like who's gonna go for that?
You offer Parker a percentage, but you offer Wilder a flat fee. So you know.
I mean, it's still far more money than he's ever made in his career. But still, like, it doesn't make sense.
You can't offer one percentage. The fact, they knew what they were doing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like, and then there's a plot twist now because they're saying Dillian White apparently is gonna fight Pulev for an IBF mandatory shot. Yeah. So he's.
Ortiz as well. I've heard this Ortiz.
I think they're not keen on the Ortiz fight. I think that's what that's about. I think the WBC
Ortiz
pulled a fast one, so I think they're not keen on that now. So they're going to go there.
I would love to see Ortiz.
Yeah, I don't know if White would beat Ortiz, man. I think Ortiz might do it. That would be a good fight, though. I think Pulev. I think White can beat Pulev. Yeah, I think that's a real. Yeah, he can win that. Even Povetkin, I think White could have beat him too. But Ortiz is dangerous.
Povetkin didn't want it.
No. And rightly so. If Povetkin's mandatory for the WBA, why would he?
I just think White Ortiz is an interesting fight, but I don't know. Nobody knows what Ortiz has left in it.
That's the other thing.
We don't know.
No.
He's always been dangerous.
When we're talking Wilder, that wasn't the case.
No, we were.
Jay, talk to your boys, man.
No.
High blood pressure.
All this.
And he's,
wait.
Now he's still dangerous.
I want to
young
refresh.
man.
Jay and Jocks, Do you remember Carl, Mr. Weigh-In?
Saying before the weigh-in.
Carl, please remind everyone what you said on the weigh-in of the Wilder and Ortiz fight.
Yeah, man. I just said he looked old, he looked slow, he looked less energetic than Wilder. I was from when I saw that, I thought Wilder's gonna do him in, you know. I think he just didn't have much about him. He looked slow, old, but Wilder looked energetic, ready, fired up, and the contrast in demeanour and stature. that kind of swung me
And
towards Wilder.
He still should have been up on the cards. But the point is this: Ortiz should only have ever been considered a dangerous factor. He shouldn't have been made favourite in anyone's mind, and he certainly shouldn't have been put up on the same level as Vladimir Klitschko. That was my point. Like Ortiz is old.
You know what you lot are saying makes zero sense.
Why?
You saw him at the weigh-in, yeah, and he's looking old, but he was having up Deontay until.
That's because
He couldn't see out for 12 rounds, though, could he? He couldn't go to 12 rounds. He tired out. That's why he got beat. Because he tired out. He was old.
All right, but then he's still dangerous enough.
He's a skilled boxer. He's a skilled, powerful boxer, yes.
He's still
He couldn't lose 12 rounds.
No, the reason why that's relevant though, Chops, is because
The backtrack
you lot
is
just
real.
said, yeah,
The backtrack is
said-
real.
If it was a few years ago, he could have seen it out.
you lot said that no one was saying anything about Ortiz before the fight. We've got evidence where Carl actually literally, and some of us were saying about Ortiz's 2 fights prior as well.
Yeah, we were saying. In fact, our predictions were like we were
He
saying.
was
all
saying he
along.
was washed in his last 2 fights, but now he's okay for Dillian.
No, the thing
Dillian
is-
as good as Deontay, though.
Yeah, but
Dillian's been
as
beat.
good as
Yeah, he went toe to toe with Chisora.
Dillian.
Yeah, are you ranking him as high as?
Okay, wait, Dillian against what's my man's name? That
What, Brown?
Ortiz. That Ortiz.
Knocked out.
No, he struggled with Malik Scott.
Malik Scott.
Who's better?
White.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What was the previous one before that?
Dave Allen. White's fair.
Oh, okay.
White
then.
beat Dave.
I don't need to speak anymore then.
What do you mean? Hang on.
What?
Hang on. Sorry. Run that by me one more time.
You lot said, yeah. Ortiz.
Yeah.
He looked crap against these lot, but that's he was
Not
just
crap, he just didn't look his best.
Yeah.
didn't look his best, yeah. Didn't look his best, but he still outshone those
So
guys.
what,
yeah?
what we're saying is, when he beats Tony Thompson and
Jennings.
and Bryant Jennings, this guy's a real threat in the division.
Then he had a big break.
But then from
Then he had a
there
big
to
break.
now, we're not sure who he is and what he's about. What he did against Wilder was impressive, but we don't actually know what version of Ortiz is currently there, because if he faces White, it's interesting.
Up until the fading when he got collected, he was looking very good, sharp boxing well.
I
But
think
that's
he was
where we
boxing
knock Wilder.
But that's why I don't rate Wilder.
Yeah.
Because he's
But you know, one thing I was just thinking about, something you guys were saying about Wilder though, is about his record and how long he's been active. And I
It's
was
a
looking at
disgrace.
Charlos. The Charlos have been active since 2007 and 2008, and they haven't done much. They're not like
I know, but-
they're world champions, but so is Wilder. So I'm like, Wilder's had way more fights than both of them.
But we're not putting Charlo as the best in the division.
Yeah, but
Well, in their division.
in heavyweight boxing, Wilder is arguably he's arguably the number one guy. It's between him and AJ.
Yeah,
they're
it's
the
even
top
AJ,
two.
because the division's so weak.
okay.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna do the ranking now, anyone who's
Yeah.
doing it in a sensible way would put AJ at the top. Clearly,
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's not
Full
like
belts.
there's no
yeah.
disputing that,
Yeah.
right? And what I mean to say when I'm comparing their resumes is that, okay, Charlo's had 30 fights and they've been at a certain level up until a certain point, and then they fought the best in the division or the other top guys in the division.
I don't think that's been done yet.
Not yet, actually.
Yeah,
To be fair.
not
They
yet.
haven't.
Yeah, but they're
going that way.
way.
Yeah.
They pick up a strap and then fight 1, fight 2, fight 3. Then you're fighting for unifications. Wilder, on the other hand, has had his belt for eight fights, and has only once fought someone that's universally seen as a top 10 guy. That's unacceptable.
I don't know.
We should be
Charlo's
kicking
have
his
fought
ass
good
for
level
it.
of opposition though. They haven't fought bums their whole
Yeah,
career.
exactly. They were
Like
fighting guys that
Jermall
were-
fought Lubin. He was highly rated before. Jermall
Williams,
fought Trout,
was-
Williams. These are good
yeah,
fighters.
actually, Trout. Come
Yeah,
on,
no,
give him
no,
some
no.
credit.
Jermall said he
Trout
was
is-
promised a Canelo fight by Golden Boy, but he didn't get it, and that's why he left Golden Boy. So
They were all
maybe
like
it's
the
politics
same.
a bit of it
They
as
were all
well.
kind of in similar places though.
Yeah,
So Charlo, Lubin, Williams,
Yeah,
Charlo.
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
They were all
Whereas
similar.
like Duhalpus, the one that Miller's just beat, he should never legitimately he shouldn't have been fighting for a world title. I don't think.
No, he shouldn't.
Who the hell?
Duhalpus when he fought Wilder,
Yeah.
Spizilka, who I always will fight. I'm so sorry, man. He
call him
should
Arthur.
never have been fighting for a world title, and I've just got an issue with that being fucking
He was 'cause someone pulled out, though,
Stavern
wasn't he?
2, for fuck's sake.
Stavern 2 shouldn't have happened.
It's a disgrace.
Like,
Even this Brazil getting the mandatory now, it makes you think the WBC, I don't know, is it
They've
They've
corruption?
been protecting
It's-
their
yeah.
US champ
obviously
for
it's
ages.
politics, but I just think, you know, again, a point you made, Nat, is yes, the divisions play a role in that. You know what I mean? If there were better quality heavyweights, then Wilder would, you know what I mean?
But the
Almost be
rankings are
forced.
still the rankings,
Yeah.
man. And he
No,
still had
they're
40
there.
fights, man. Like in his 30-something fight, I was saying the other day, he was fighting a guy with less than half the fights he's had. The Price guy. We seen this knockout. Kelvin Price. He
Yeah.
got completely washed. But I'm looking at his record. That was his 14th fight. What's he doing in with a guy who's 32 and 0 with 32 knockouts? Why are we taking this? This is garbage. Like, I don't understand it.
You should at
You
least
should be
fight
criticising
top
that,
10
yeah.
guys. It's not that hard to fight the top 10 guy to fight.
So when we say top 10, who are we talking
Yeah,
about? Who he
who
should
are
have
the
fought
top
in
10?
at
Who
these
they're
times?
just-
Yeah,
He tried.
Bryant Jennings, but do you know what happened with Bryant Jennings? Bryant Jennings was actually his mandatory, and I think they would have gone for that fight because Bryant Jennings was also American, but he chose to fight Klitschko instead.
There you go.
So I think this was in his would have been Wilder's second or third defense. He actually went the other way and didn't fight for Wilder's title.
Well, he
I'm not
was
sure
gonna
what the
fight-
reason was that.
Let's not forget he was going to fight Povetkin
Povetkin.
until he failed the drug test.
He was also going to,
Yeah,
but no,
but how
I'm
many
just
fights
putting the
back
whole
is that?
picture together. It's not just
Yeah.
that there have been issues there as well, but
Yeah.
like in his
That's-
8th title defense, he's
Yeah.
fighting one guy that we think, oh, that's a decent top 10
Yeah.
threat. Not acceptable, and it
But
can't
that's
like
what I mean.
32
But
fights down the line.
I always look at the path. I think if he was going to
That's
fight
it.
Povetkin and he beat Povetkin, then this is what opens up those elite fights. It's harder to when
why?
that fight
No,
doesn't
but he's
happen.
got
got
a
a strap.
strap.
Yeah,
He's got
but
a belt. He doesn't have to.
He doesn't need to be
So,
searching out.
why is
man.
AJ
he
fighting
does.
Brazil?
He's not. He wasn't making
When's
peace.
AJ fighting Brazil?
Yeah, Brazil or people of that level.
That was his
or-
first defense, though. That was his 16th
Yeah.
fight or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't compare.
You can't
Yeah,
compare
but-
it.
He's fighting. Okay, AJ's fighting guys
Yeah,
in his 16th, 17th, 18th fight that Wilder's fighting in his 38th, 39th
Yeah,
fight.
why is Wilder
That's
fighting
just
Brazil
crazy.
now? Because
Yeah, but
AJ
that's
fought
part-
Brazil in his 16th or 15th
yeah,
fight or whatever.
but that's only
and knocked him out in 7 rounds.
This is it to me. That's all to do with the promotion
Who's looking
and
after
woo's
him?
looking
Oh,
after
he's
him.
got a
Oh,
strap.
if he
he's
was
an
No, 'cause
American
think about it.
heavyweight
This is
with a
numbers.
world title.
They don't
When
rate
the
him.
numbers-
They don't like
No,
him
but
in
he's got a
America.
belt.
It doesn't
He's got a
matter.
belt.
They don't
He's got a
rate
belt.
him
The thing
like
is,
that.
there's people
well, they
that's
weren't
after
rating him like
him.
that. You have to remember.
What about Shannon Briggs?
He was not a big draw like that.
No, he wasn't.
Shannon
Oh,
Briggs,
why
see
not
it.
fight him?
Yeah,
Go
he
for
wasn't.
him.
When
That's the-
Wilder
Shannon
fought Stavern the first time, I think they sold like 2,000 tickets in the MGM.
He's not a draw.
It was
He
poor.
was
It was
not
empty
a
arena.
draw
But
until we started talking
what I
that
mean.
He was the
shit.
first American
So-
heavyweight
There's a
champion.
reason
How
for
long?
that.
Yeah,
He
There's a
wasn't
reason
joining
for
crowds.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason.
So
There's a
like,
reason for that,
What's
and
the
it's because
reason?
he wasn't his whole career up.
Is
until-
that just
he's
about
a
him,
bronze
though?
medalist, and that's not just about him.
I mean, is
think
that about the
nobody
state
had
of
faith
boxing in the
him.
United States and
Yeah,
the profile of boxing? Because they got the they
Okay,
got the
so-
NFL, they got the NBA.
Here's a
they
quick
got
question.
Yeah,
Major League
boxing is
Soccer,
a
they got
top-
baseball, hockey,
Right, fair enough.
UFC, MMA.
Who's looking after Gerald Washington to get him the title fight against Wilder in his 18th fight? Like, why is it all? Oh yeah, well the path. But for the guys that he's fighting, the guys that are only 13-0, the people that they've got him to wipe up cleanly, their path is so much easier to get into a
But
big
is
fight.
AJ making the
Gerald
fights,
Washington was a late
or-
replacement, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was a late replacement.
He was a,
I thought
Was
it
that,
Povetkin.
that was for the Povetkin fight? I think it
I
may
think
have
it
been.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
So it's like, like
You lot are
we're
harsh on
forgetting.
Deontay.
Yeah,
We're
No,
not.
we're
not.
forgetting.
We're not.
We're forgetting how many fights he
40
had.
fights.
Yeah, but think about how many
40.
fights he had before he was, as you said, 2,000 tickets. It's like those are a whole load of fights just that have been
But
padded
He's
up
gotta
over
pay
the
some
But
time.
bills.
why?
Bill.
Why is he padding up his
Because
record like
he was
that?
nobody.
No, but
he
he's
was
as
nobody
soon
at
as
the
you
He
got
was
the
not a
WCW
draw,
belt,
He
and he
wasn't.
got to get paid.
He's a bronze
Look,
medalist.
the Eddie
That
Hearn,
they don't.
Eddie
and
Hearn,
They don't. They didn't rate.
Eddie Hearn went down the streets of New York and he said, "Do
Yes.
you know who Deontay Wilder is?"
They
They didn't
don't-
know who he
they
is.
didn't
But
know.
that's the thing.
Do
Okay.
they
World
know who
champion.
Jennings
Erickson
is?
Lubin.
No,
Exactly. Jennings got a fight against Klitschko.
But
fought his way into that.
Last-
Klitschko picking.
Who's the
Jennings
last
got
biggest?
a fight with Ortiz.
Who's the last biggest
They
American
don't,
heavyweight?
They don't make the fights.
No.
Oh, before that, what the last big ones?
Yeah.
But okay, let me chuck another one in there.
Who?
Arthur and Jennings fought before before
Evander Holyfield. That's our
Yeah,
match.
that's
Okay. Where's he from? Like what state?
he's
Atlanta,
at
Georgia.
Atlanta. Well, did he grow up in Atlanta? Well, he's
Bolton
at
Hunt.
Where did he
Yeah.
settle? Like where was he
New
fighting?
York.
Yeah, major city. Where's Deontay from?
Birmingham.
We're making
Oh,
so
come
many
on,
excuses.
Sean.
No, it's real. It's real.
40 fights. 4-0.
Why is he only getting 2,000?
Unprecedented.
Why is he only getting 2,000 tickets?
This is
why
the only fight
why
of-
are the
He's
Charlo
fighting
fights?
for
Because
Even
he's
now,
garbage
no.
and no one wanted him to fight anyone decent.
No, even now, Hearn is like, Deontay Wilder's trying to build his name off AJ's back.
She
He
is.
They're
Which
still
is.
saying that.
Well, let's be
Exactly.
realistic. That's a
'Cause he's
smart
not
thing to
known.
do.
But the reason, why
That's
is he
not-
not
Let's
known?
be serious.
Because he's
Let's-
not fought anybody
Why
that
wouldn't
anyone
he?
That's
cares
not why.
about.
That's not why.
Brian
That is why.
Jennings,
No,
you
it's
know,
not.
You know Shannon
competitive
Briggs.
fighters.
Shannon Briggs was
How
calling
to
out
talk.
Wilder for a long time, calling Beyonce and all of that.
Why is he going to fight Shannon Briggs? He's
Yeah, why
45
not?
years old.
David Haye. Why didn't David Haye fight?
No,
him?
okay, yeah, that's a
David-
good point.
David
That's a
Haye.
good
Right,
point.
it's Bill Cole.
That's a good point.
No, I'm
Say
sorry.
I'm Deontay
You know he
Wilder.
beats him,
People
people go, why
know
are you
who
fighting
Shannon
him
Let's
for?
Go champ
No, but he's an
Briggs is.
ex-champion.
How many years ago was he champion?
You lot,
Nah,
cool.
are you? No, are you serious?
You lot
That's a
cool
good
with him
point.
fighting 75-year-old Ortiz.
No, this is the point.
But then
No,
We're saying
this
we
is the
should
point.
fight
Briggs.
more.
If you want, if you
So you
want-
should fight
Briggs
Shannon
is-
Briggs, you're saying?
I'm
Shannon
saying
Briggs
that
is
Shannon Briggs-
older
Shannon
No,
than
at the
Ortiz.
Shannon
time.
Briggs was older, but
Ortiz.
Shannon Briggs was about when
At
Shannon
the
Briggs
time.
was calling him
Oh,
out.
sorry.
That was like 4-5 years ago.
What was Shannon Briggs' last big win?
That's
his
more
last
than
ever
It's
10
not even
years.
a good
This is
fight.
the point.
I'm
This
not
is
saying
the
it's a good fight.
No, I'm not saying that either.
It's not a good fight.
But this
No,
is my
it's
point.
so
What's he fighting
No,
then?
this
It's
is
about
right,
getting
this
his
is my
name
point.
out.
This is my point. Shannon Briggs has got a big mouth,
hanging yourself.
and not at all.
No, at all.
Shannon Briggs has got a big mouth. We're saying that Wilder couldn't get no fight against anyone in the top 10 because he has got a problem. You have a guy who's got a name.
Nobody's fighting Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs call that Klitschko kiss. Shut up.
Yeah,
Exactly,
no,
everyone's
but
ignored it.
Nobody's
It's a
fighting
Norway.
Shannon Briggs.
so
It's
why
embarrassing.
So why is he
fighting
fighting
that?
Shannon Briggs?
That's embarrassing. You don't want to be fighting Shannon
Come
Briggs.
on,
So
man.
you
What?
So you
No,
don't
but
want to
that's
fight
my-
a guy
my-
with a name,
My point
but you want
is-
to fight nobodies with
Shannon
13
Briggs.
and
So
0
hang on,
records.
hang on. So what you're gonna
Had
say
to fight
is
on a David Haye
Arthur
show with
and-
Fat Man
and
Scoop
other guys
DJ.
like that.
Come on.
So you rather fight unknown guys that can't box, plumbers and
Saying
that.
they can't
plumbers
box is
and
unfair. I
builders.
think that's harsh. They're decent
Yeah,
boxers.
some of them some of them are guys that
They're
like the
builders.
Hoppers. He fought Povetkin fought him. You know, Spilka was a competitive fight. Obviously, I'm not saying these guys are on levels, but they're just like
These are
any other
teachers and
heavyweight. That,
postmen.
yeah, but so
Yeah,
is
he's-
Melina. AJ fought Melina. So
Meli-
is
Melina went how many
Brazil.
rounds with Wilder?
He went more rounds, but again, that's start. We could draw on so many fights like that.
come
that
on.
when
Okay.
it
How
just-
many rounds did Hatton go with Mayweather, and how many rounds did he go with Pacquiao?
Yeah, Pacquiao.
You know what I
Mayweather
mean?
was way
Fine.
Sit-
You
down.
know, I'm not
Styles
saying
make
the round. I'm not
Beyonce.
saying the round.
Styles make
I'm
fights.
not
That's
being
like a
harsh.
silly comparison.
I just think we should expect the same level. When Keith Thurman was doing his running, I was harsh on him too.
Yeah,
His ducking
I
is
defended him.
obvious. And
Yeah.
so I'm just saying, from any pro, you get 10, maybe 15 fights where you fight bums. Fine. When you get up to 20, 25 fights, start taking it serious. And then, like, by fight 40, I mean,
If you got a-
unifying
that's a
divisions
legacy.
should be
If
so
you've got a
much.
belt, yeah, and you're still only selling 2,000 tickets, there's something wrong. There's some.
But
There's
that's
something wrong
not
with
my
you.
point.
I mean,
no,
You're
there's
putting the
a-
chicken. It's chicken or egg, right? So to me,
Yeah.
fight people that people want to see you fight, and you'll sell.
Wilder was
tickets.
interested in the Fury fight, though, wasn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
What,
Fury
what,
didn't-
yeah, as far as getting into the ring and shouting.
No, but then
at each
Fury
other.
then look what happened with Fury.
Yeah,
that was
so
fine.
Fury went off the
With
rails.
Fury had
And he
stayed-
was going to
Pulled
take the
out,
Povetkin fight.
Fury.
And he was
They
going
were-
to take
he
the
had him in the
but
ring and they had a
still, this is still
confrontation.
30 odd
went
fights
into the
before
ring
we
Because
see
Wilder
him
let
fight
him. These
anyone
things,
we
it's all
care.
pre-arranged. It's not. You don't just get in the ring. If you get in the ring, it's because you've been allowed in the ring.
Yeah, it's-
Wilder allowed
it's
Fury into the
promoters.
ring, but when Wilder wanted to get in the ring with AJ, he said no. AJ said no, and that's why it didn't happen.
I'm not sure. Okay, fine.
Same way, like even Danny Jacobs said the other night, he didn't let Charlo in the ring. I said, I don't want him in the ring to come and
Charlo was,
disrespect me in Brooklyn. This is my city. He was disrespecting my city. I don't want him in the ring. When someone gets in the ring, it's because they've been allowed to do so. It's part of building the fight and publicity. That's why Fury got in the ring with Wilder. It was all pre-staged.
fine,
They knew
but-
what they were doing.
That's like 2 years ago. What counts for the 5 years that Wilder's been champion for? Why did he not ever go for Vladimir Klitschko?
Klitschko was doing the Fury thing. Fury was his mandatory.
No, but the whole time.
Telling you, man.
Was he champion then? No?
Fine.
Harsh.
This is what I'm
Any
saying.
other top
American
10 heavyweight? Why not? Like Povetkin, fine, he had a drug thing. But who were like in the whole period?
Alright,
up
You
until
lot putting it all on Deontay. What about them
his
lot?
entire team?
Yeah.
What about
Him
them
and
lot?
his entire team. It's a joke. that
What
he
about
was
them
now?
lot? What
If
about-
we go with now, currently as it stands, he's just fought Ortiz and he's calling out AJ.
Yes,
So we
He's
can't.
fighting Brazil.
That's
He's
current.
fighting Brazil.
But
Though.
he's
So if you
fighting
get
Brazil.
calling out AJ, that's all talk. Until a contract signed, I don't really care. That's all.
He's
talk.
fighting Brazil.
But he's fighting. Is Brazil a top 10 heavyweight? I would say so.
Brazil is a
Yeah,
top
there you
10
go.
heavyweight.
It's another top
Well,
10 heavyweight.
He doesn't want to fight White, but whatever. He's now
Yeah,
fine.
that's true.
As long as he
But
racks up the
The
fights.
only
But I just
reason
think it's ridiculous.
I don't think he's scared to fight White. I think he
Same.
just doesn't like the principle of right. That's Hearn's fighter as well. I want AJ. Why are you giving me White? Like I
He
just
should
think
get
it's
a White on his record because he hasn't got any. He's got one.
The fight does
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah, I
does
agree.
make
I don't know.
no. It does in the aspect of building
Resume.
the AJ fight. If AJ's gonna
Yeah.
fight somebody else.
Why is he gonna adhere to that? Why am I gonna
needs
take?
to- I think a lot of it is
Why
his-
should I take the route you want me
I
to
think a lot of it
take?
is his advisors
You
telling
ain't
him that as well.
selling
Because
tickets.
Brazil is an Al
He's
Heyman
getting,
fighter.
but Deontay's getting buzzed now, and he's seeing that.
Wilder is
As-
an Al
as
Heyman
Wilder
fighter
as well, yeah.
They want to keep it in house. They're like,
Yeah,
no, we're not
both
doing
make
it.
the money
We're not
in-
dancing to Eddie Hearn's beat.
That's
We
it.
want to do our thing and
And
keep
that's
it in
their
house.
problem.
And yeah, that's not
I
all his
think-
fault though.
I think it's not all his fault, but I do believe that Team Wilder have been afraid of Wilder getting that loss.
Yeah,
I really do because
of course they are.
he's,
boy.
he's an American
Yeah, absolutely.
heavyweight. Of course, if Wilder he has got a big mouth, but if he was saying bomb squad with Vladimir Klitschko, he could have got that fight.
Yeah, he could
No
have.
one can
He
say that
talked
he couldn't
himself into that fight, and
Yeah, it's true.
Like, so Wilder being an American and the amount of money Klitschko could have made coming over to America.
See, this
I did hear a rumor that
You just-
Klitschko
you just
knocked out
click-
Wilder in sparring.
clicked it.
Johnny
Made it
Nelson
click.
said it one
Money.
time. He said
Yeah.
Klitschko
What to
knocked
say?
out Wilder.
Why
in sparring. I
is
don't know how true
Vladimir
it is.
Klitschko
but
gonna fight
Maybe that's why
someone
he shied
who's
away
not
from it.
selling? Why is he's a top boy? Why is he gonna fight someone who's not
He's a
selling?
You've got a
Champion.
strap. Unify the division.
And who else did he have to fight?
Become undisputed.
Wait, but he went for Fury.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
You
have a
see
problem
what I'm
with
saying?
that. I don't have a problem with that.
Fury's the mandatory, but there's
Fury's
P's
mandatory,
in that
yeah.
as
Yeah, I have a
well.
problem with that,
Fury
yeah.
called out Klitschko.
Fury
That's the
hunted him
point.
down, bro.
Hey, Clock went for
Yeah,
Klitschko.
Wilder should
Fury
at least
went for
called him out. I
Klitschko.
think.
Wilder
Maybe
never
he
called
wasn't
out
ready.
Klitschko.
Maybe he wasn't ready. I
He
don't
wasn't
know.
ready
He
in
wasn't
fight
ready.
38.
No, to be fair, he wasn't
That's
ready.
the problem I've always had. Like, how long does it take you to get ready?
Well, he started boxing late, didn't he? So
So did AJ, man. Come on.
Yeah, but
You know
AJ
when
got-
your son's-
this is annoying. No, man.
You know
Listen,
when your son's 45 and he's still not ready.
are
Just kick him out.
refusing to you like AJ's protection.
But it's
But-
not.
has
No, it's
AJ
not
been that protected though? AJ has
AJ
been
has
protected.
done. Sorry,
He has. He's
No.
been guided.
Oh,
by
hang on,
him.
that
hang on,
protected.
hang
I'm
on,
talking
wait a
those
second.
He
early
fought for a world
fights.
title in his 14th
No.
fight.
Wait,
Every
He fought Klitschko
single
in his
bro.
Break it down,
19th
Carl,
fight.
please.
So no, his 14th fight was a world title shot against Charles Martin.
14th.
He fought
Against who?
Charles Martin.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Against
Look.
who?
Again, but no, but once
no,
you're world
You
champion,
guys remember
No,
how
no,
Charles
no,
Martin
wait.
was
Listen,
champion?
We're calling
listen
that
to
guy
what I'm saying.
who
Listen,
won
no. Regardless, forget that. Once you're world champion, that comes with responsibility.
Yes.
So you're going to get mandated to fight better. You're going to be expected to fight better fighters. So once you cross that line, they said, no, we think he's ready to be world champion and take those big fights.
And that's
Was
what he
it
did.
3-4 fights later? He fought Klitschko, which was a risk at the time because not everyone in that fight said Klitschko's watched up. Joshua's going to win this easily. People were torn. It was 50-50 fight.
If those belts didn't become available but remember Charles Martin was gifted that belt.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
totally
yeah,
agree
yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
He
I
got
totally
injured.
agree.
They would never have taken a fight if Charles
Okay,
Martin was
fine.
not world
But
champion.
here's the thing.
No way.
Find me one other boxer who has fewer fighters with losses on their record. Find me a better boxer who's had a shorter apprenticeship
To win world titles.
than
Dimitri
AJ.
Bivol, Lomachenko,
Two.
Lomachenko's got
Yeah?
2 gold
Two.
medals
Two.
at Olympics.
Berta Bailey.
400 amateur fights.
400.
amateur fights.
No, but
This
no.
is not
I
amateur.
didn't even.
We're
I didn't
talking
even.
pro.
I didn't
You
even-
guys are talking about
No,
pro.
bro, put that in
I'm
there.
just saying. I'm
AJ
just saying.
started
Find
boxing
me.
at
Find me.
18.
How many can you can you count
There's
them
not
on
many.
one
You
hand?
can name
There's
these
not
two
many
people that you're naming, but there's
that
not
have
many
got-
more.
I've
Guys,
got
but
a
Even
shorter
Parker was a
apprenticeship.
risky fight, so you can't say AJ's been protected. He's fighting the
I'm
top
just
guys.
saying. No, just find
Charles
me more.
Martin's
Just
the
find me
top
any
guy.
more.
And man, you asked me
Bar
to
Charles
name
Martin.
some. I named some anyway.
Klitschko.
Yeah, and they're
But-
extreme.
and Parker.
They're extreme
Those are risky-
examples.
they're
Yeah, I
risky
get
fights.
you that. Those are
at least
current. Those
15
are
fights.
recent fights. Before that,
Give me 15
Yeah,
fights. anyone their first week. Gervonta Davis basically rushed into. He's in his own words.
Yeah, I give you that.
He had 4 people with losses on their records at the start of his career. Look, with a losing record. Sorry, with a losing record. That's more losses than wins, right? Fucking Errol Spence, who's never ducked anybody ever in his life. I swear he has at least 3. The quality of opposition they fight in their first 10, 15 fights isn't high. AJ's about the same as that. What I'm saying is, Deontay Wilder had that apprenticeship last 30 fucking fights, and that's unacceptable.
And yeah, AJ, let's be clear. The guy he beat, Kevin Johnson. That guy, I mean, he's been beat a lot. He fought Fury, I think one of the Klitschko's. He fought Chisora. This guy's never been stopped. AJ stopped him in the second round. He wasn't just fighting complete bums.
Yeah.
Sorry?
He wasn't fighting complete bums. He wasn't
it wasn't like
Deontay Wilder in his first 20
Gary
fights.
Cornish. Gary Cornish was an undefeated heavyweight at the same level as him, technically.
What I would say about
Dillian
this
White was
debate-
at the same level as him, undefeated
this debate
heavyweight.
could go on,
Prospect.
Like we
can
could
go
talk
on
about
all
that.
night.
Yeah.
We apologise.
Once
Yeah.
this podcast is finished, we're gonna continue this conversation
Yeah.
because I honestly think we're just negating the fact that AJ, his path is not. He's not picking it completely himself.
Which boxer
And I
is
think
though?
A lot of boxers are. It depends. It depends.
A lot of boxers are picking their path completely.
Or they some are.
Like
It's either the same for Wilder or is it same for Joshua? It's either he's picking it and his team is picking it, or Wilder's picking it and his team is picking it. I'm not sure which one.
We'll get into that because the
on the way home.
It's going to continue after. But yeah, this has been round 3 of.
We come off topic completely.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I'm so sorry.
So yeah,
it got heated.
But yes, tune in. We're gonna have round 4 coming up pretty soon, guys. Any closing thoughts?
I just want to. Chucks, you're wrong.
You love that line, you know. Listen, man, we'll see.
Cool.
But yeah, big up. Hey for the good of boxing.
Hey, for the good of it.
Come on, Bellew. Get that old man out of here.
Cool. So I think we got carried away.